Hello. Welcome back to LARPgameing. Yes, the internet YouTube series that talks about creepypastas or anything weird, acting like they're Mudahar from good old days. Now, today we're going to be talking about the internet's favorite little twink. No, not Jeff the Killer. No, not T-Rex Toby. And no, not Slender Man. We're going to be talking about Eyeless Jack, the original Jeff, the original spooky little Tumblr heartthrob. Now, he's a very interesting character indeed. Not much is known about him, and I mean not much, I'm talking about the original idea of him. See, he was from 4chan from 2010, from the V board, or the video game board. Just a creepy image that was posted there by an anonymous user. 2 years later, the certain little user decided, hey, that's a kind of a cool photo, and decided to use it for their creepypasta. And then in the creepypasta, we have Eyeless Jack, the being that takes kidneys, especially a man named Mitch's kidneys. But that's here or there. Everyone knows about the story. No, I really want to know more about one thing. What is he exactly? The original form, not the he was a 19-year-old college student story. No, the original 4chan story. Because Eyeless Jack is very interesting to me. Just look at him here. He's a very creepy figure. No eyes, just a black hoodie and a mask that's not quite right. And even behind the mask, I don't really think there's even a human face, and if there is, it's not recognizable. Man, makes me wonder indeed, who is he truly? Is it like a demon? Or maybe it's something else? Well, if you say it's a demon, well, that's a good argument. Look at him, his body, the way he moves in the story, makes me wonder, what is he truly? Is he some hybrid? Is he some failed experiment? Well, if he is some failed experiment, what on earth wants to make that? And if he is an experiment and he's some demon, then why on earth, just break in some guy's house at night and then go back after you messed up once and twice? It's really weird. But I have another idea, another theory, a little pasta theory. I don't think he's a human at all. Maybe he's a parasite. Why a parasite? Well, the way he acts isn't really human or demonish, or at all a cannibal, because cannibals really will go after the kidneys. They're not really known as the most tasty thing, and I don't think it's that easy to really cook up a kidney. But I don't really cook up kidneys. I'm just going off of an educated guess here, and I'm terrified to Google that at all, because I don't want to be put on a watch this. I'm already on multiple of those because of different internet researching purposes. But besides my weird internet hobbies, Eyeless Jack is more of a creature of a boogeyman or a Bigfoot type of creature. The way he moves, he doesn't really speak, and even when he was trying to attack the main character, Much, or Much, funny, it sounds a fun name, sorry, he doesn't really try to continue to fight him or chase him down when he, fails to get him. So that's kind of weird in my opinion. But if he's some type of parasite creature, well, that might make sense. Parasites are not really known to continue the chase after failing the first time. They just kind of wait and stop and, wait for the next opportunity to really come around. So in this case, he waits for the guy to come back because he already has the kidney. He's just waiting to come back for another one. But at the end of the story, he kind of leaves the kidney there for Much to find. But to be true, he did have Much's other brother, so I guess it's like an even playing outfield. I guess he's showing him he already had his second piece of the pie, and he won't be bothering him anymore. But that's very interesting. Why was he only go after kidneys? I was thinking, if he's a demon, is he like a collector? But if he's a collector, why not just go after Butcher's brother after the attempt to really go after him? Why continue to try to get after him? Well, why at all leave Butcher's kidney after at the end of the story? It doesn't make much sense if he was like a demon collector, but if he's a parasite, it makes sense. Maybe he needs the nutrients of kidneys, because in our human body it fights off diseases, it fights off stuff that would harm us, and it purifies things. But why does this parasite need something to be purified for? Well, I have a theory. Maybe this eyeless jack creature is kind of like a venom type of a monster. Maybe his body isn't really used to the world, the way that the world is, and doesn't have stuff to really purify it like most humans do. Because humans have livers and we have kidneys, but some creatures, they don't really have that. And if they do, they don't really have it at the same quality, the same strength as we do. Some do, some don't, some weaken, and I think maybe this parasite thing does. And it goes after the eyes. No sockets, just black ooze. So maybe this black ooze is the parasite trying to just latch on, or just oozing out of the body because it's eating it, the host's body raw. So that's a little interesting fact that's in the story. The eyes are oozing out that I noticed, and I thought, well, maybe maybe the body's decaying, so maybe it's trying to rebuild its body by using the kidney, or it eats kidneys so it can purify itself. Because the facts of kidneys are pretty much, they filter out your blood. They make sure that it's nice and healthy. They make sure your hormones are in check and make new ones and stuff like that. And it makes sure that your body's working pretty well. Now, let's say this is a parasite and it's eating this host alive. Well, the kidney's going to fail, so you're going to need more stuff. And more stuff means more bodies you have to kill or get. And maybe in the beginning, it went after only dead kidneys. And maybe it didn't work. They realized it needs to be not decaying, it has to be alive. But that brings up another point, If it just needs kidneys to survive, why does it need fresh ones? And like I said, maybe in the beginning it didn't need fresh ones, but over time the body got so decayed, it needs fresher ones to make sure the hormones are in check and produces more red blood cells and stuff like that. But if it's just body parts, then why does it need a kidney? Well, maybe the parasite only affects that part of the body more, or stuff like that. Or maybe it's just a weird cannibal who loves fucking eating kidneys and messing around with black ooze. Or maybe the parasite can only live by eating the kidneys. Like maybe its main source of life is the kidney of a host. That would make a lot more sense. It has to be a live kidney for the parasite to eat off of, not just a decaying dead one, but something alive so it can get its meals from. And if that's the case, it makes sense why the body looks human but still wrong, because the body's slowly decaying, because the nutrients are getting taken away more and more and more from the kidney. And I'm imagining that the original hostess kidneys are fucking gone. That's why there always has to take new ones, maybe to eat them or to absorb them or do whatever it wants with them. And it's an interesting thing to talk about, a very interesting thing to talk about and ramble on about. And I had these ideas popping around, like, what is this eyeless Jack? Who is he? What is this ooze? Why is he this way? But at the same time, he's one of the most biggest creepypastas at the time, and still is in this time. And I think it's just interesting, someone like him, somehow surviving in this modern age. And everything about him, the image, the mask, hiding what's underneath his face. Maybe that's like where the parasite is more visible or whatever. But like I said, everything about him is just really fascinating. And it's really an era of creepypasta that was so simple. Really an era of just scary things. You didn't have to have a Five Nights at Freddy's 400 video MatPat explaining lore. It was just, here's a creepy image, here's a short story that is creepy. Is it a little corny? Yeah, but was it right? Yeah, it wasn't too complicated, it wasn't too messy. And I kind of wish stories went back to that. Just keep it nice and short. Here's the boogeyman that you need to be scared of, and this is what he does. He will take your kidneys and make your little kids, fucking shake out their bones and shit. Be like, oh my God, I'm so scared, Mom. I don't want to go to bed. And you'd be like, you gotta go to bed, Johnny. But like, that is what I miss, But this has been another episode of LARPgameing. Leave a like if you liked it, and leave a dislike if you don't. And I am out.
Under your skin.